The U.S. Census Bureau says women represent 54% of renters who say they were behind on payments.
In Utah, 75% of those behind on rent are women. In depth today, Fox 13's Max Roth looks at what the numbers say about Utahns who are still struggling.
Utah has a strong economy in terms of the availability of jobs, but the National Low-Income Housing Coalition says you need to earn almost $20 an hour to afford a two-bedroom apartment here. And the U.S. Census Bureau has learned a lot of Utahns just can't make the rent.
A lot of Utah's renters are struggling, housing prices pushing them out of the communities where they work.
The problem is the market. The market can get, higher rents. And unfortunately, we have a lot of people who are working in low-wage jobs.
Tara Rollins is executive director of the Utah Housing Coalition. She's worried about the people she serves.
But we're going to see, a wave of people being evicted.
The U.S. Census Bureau has surveyed residents of every state from the start of the pandemic on questions that include housing. And the latest results taken from April 28th to May 10th show 9%, an estimated 33,723 Utahns behind on their rent. 3 out of 4 of them are women. 12% of renting households with children owe back rent. That is twice the rate of households without children. And look at household size. 2 groups are most likely to owe rent: those with more than 7 in the household and those with 3.
About that number 3.
It's usually a single parent and 2 children, I would say.
Another life circumstance that's clearly a factor: marital status. Widowed, divorced, and separated people far more likely to say they owe rent.
Like anybody, if you have a support system and all of a sudden half of it's gone.
Rollins brings it back to a national debate.
We've been getting some pushback about housing as infrastructure, but housing is infrastructure.
Another disparity was clear from the numbers on rent. Hispanic Utahns are 2.5 times more likely to be behind than non-Hispanic white Utahns. In studio, Max Roth, Fox 13 News, Utah.